In the northern Ural Mountains, there is a peak the indigenous Mansi people call Kholat-Syakh, Dead Mountain. It is the site of a 60-year-old mystery that has obsessed investigators, conspiracy theorists, and forensic scientists alike. In February 1959, a team of 9 highly trained athletes from the Ural Polytechnic Institute vanished here. They were seasoned mountaineers, fully equipped with the heavy winter gear and experience required for sub-zero expeditions. When a rescue team finally tracked their route weeks later, they found a half-buried tent pitched high on an exposed, windswept slope. It sat in total isolation, far above the safety of the tree line. Inside, the group's heavy winter coats, boots, and survival supplies remained neatly packed. But forensic investigators discovered something unsettling about the heavy canvas. It had been violently slashed open from the inside. Leading away from the tent, searchers found 9 sets of orderly footprints walking toward the valley below. These tracks were left by people wearing only thin socks or walking completely barefoot in a -40-degree blizzard. The scene suggests a terrifying trade-off. Survival experts chose to destroy their only shelter and walk into the freezing darkness to escape whatever was inside that tent. About a mile down the mountain, searchers found the first 2 bodies near the edge of the forest. They lay stripped down to their underwear beside the remnants of a tiny fire. Deeper in a nearby ravine, more victims were discovered with injuries that defied logic. Autopsies revealed shattered rib cages and severe skull fractures, equivalent to the impact of a high-speed car crash. Yet, despite the broken bones, there was absolutely no external bruising or soft tissue damage. Public panic grew as more details leaked. One victim was missing her eyes and her tongue. When investigators tested the recovered clothing, they detected unexplained traces of radiation. Faced with evidence that seemed to contradict the laws of physics, Soviet authorities abruptly sealed the case. They vaguely blamed the deaths on a compelling unknown force. In the information vacuum of the Cold War, this lack of closure birthed wild speculation. Other hikers reported seeing strange orange orbs in the sky, fueling theories ranging from secret military weapons tests to Yeti attacks. We are left with a seemingly impossible locked-room murder. To find the truth, we have to look past the monsters and examine the hard forensic data. Modern forensic science provides a much clearer picture of these gruesome anomalies. The investigation into the paranormal can end as soon as we look at the specific conditions of the ravine. That specific victim had been submerged face down in a flowing meltwater stream for months. Scavengers and prolonged exposure to running water naturally degrade soft tissues like the tongue and eyes. It is a standard biological consequence of the environment. We also have to address the claims of radioactive weapons and the orange skin seen at the funerals. The bodies lay exposed to high-altitude UV light and digging a flat ledge for their tent undermined this base, creating a fault in the heavy slab hanging directly above. Eventually, the weight overcame friction. The slab dropped, acting like a press that crushed the sleeping hikers against rigid wooden skis beneath the tent floor. This explains the massive internal damage without external bruising. Pinned and suffocating under hundreds of pounds of ice in the pitch black, the survivors used a knife to slash through the roof. The damage to the tent canvas provides evidence of a desperate survival attempt to escape being buried alive. The survivors fled into the night, fearing a second, larger avalanche. They abandoned their gear and retreated down the mountain, but they faced a final physiological catastrophe. This explains the final anomaly: why seasoned hikers were found stripped down to their underwear while freezing to death. In the final stages of severe hypothermia, the body experiences a biological glitch called paradoxical undressing. Normally, the brain constricts blood vessels in the limbs to protect the internal organs. As the body nears death, the muscles controlling those vessels finally fail. They snap open, sending a surge of warm core blood back into the freezing skin. This sudden rush of blood tricks the disoriented brain into believing the body is burning alive. In a state of total delirium, victims frantically tear off their clothes to escape the heat. Their state of undress is a hallmark of the body's final mechanical failure during a complete biological shutdown. At the tree line, the group made one final attempt to survive. They built a fire and shared what little clothing they had with the most severely injured. But the compounding factors of physical trauma, lost gear, and 40-mile-per-hour winds made their situation impossible. Bravery and training cannot overcome the physics of extreme cold. For 60 years, the public preferred to invent complex conspiracies about orange orbs and Soviet assassins, rather than accept these forensic facts. Villains are comforting ideas because they give tragedy a face. We can understand a monster or a military cover-up. The Dyatlov Pass Incident remains terrifying for a different reason. It shows us an indifferent natural world, where a single miscalculation on a snowy slope can trigger an unstoppable nightmare.